What up, guys? CJ here. Bringing you another podcast today to break down some games and lines for Week 8 of the NFL. It's been a pretty public couple weeks over the last couple weeks, and obviously I have my buddy T over here joining us per usual. How's it going, T?
What's up, guys?
So pretty public couple of weeks, I feel. Definitely, not to say that I don't take games that the public does play sometimes. I mean, to me, it's all about the value and what I think is going to happen. But it's really odd because I feel like for 2 weeks in a row, there's a lot of favorites that have been winning, and I pride myself on value. So what do you think about that yourself?
I just think, like you said, a lot of favorites have been winning, and a lot of people have been winning. But that obviously isn't going to continue. They still have to stay focused and, and just realize that that's not always going to be like that.
Yeah, they're all trends. So because we look for value, right? So a lot of the public and the public people have been winning. So we look for value. We try to find value in other games. Sometimes they might be ugly, and sometimes they don't pan out. But hey, we try to find our winning ways and any edge we can get, man. So. Hey, by the way, though, you did call a fucking great team total under on the Jets when you said slam the house on the Jets. This was like a month ago before the season started, a little over a month ago, obviously.
I said the exact words was slam every dollar you have.
Yeah, so if you did, I mean, you're gonna be a rich man once this season ends. Devontae, no Devontae, I don't care, man. They're not looking good.
They're not.
They're not looking good. I don't even know if it was just Salah. I don't know if I don't know. I'm sure we'll talk about. I'm sure we'll talk about it a little more when the game comes up. But let's get into breaking down the game. So we're going to start off first game, obviously, of the on the slate for the weekend. Not of the weekend because they're all going to start at the same time. But no London game. So we got Detroit lane 12 against Tennessee. Man, that just fucking yells ass kicking to me. What do you think?
What about the Vikings-Rams Thursday night game?
Oh, no, well, we're taping today on Thursday, so by the time the audience hears it, they're not going to hear it till tomorrow.
I think we should still talk about it.
All right, we can talk about it. I'm down to talk about it. I did skip that just because, obviously, by the time you guys will listen to it, that game will be over, but we could give you our opinions on it. I don't know, go first. I actually feel like you might have a little angle on it first, so I'd love to hear it.
I just think it's going to be a good game. I think the Vikings came off a big loss. The Rams came off a big win. I think it's going to be a good game. If I was to side with one team, it'd probably be the Vikings for pizza money. Just because they're the better team, you get what I'm trying to say? And the Rams still have two of their wide receivers out.
Well, by the way, not to interrupt you, but Kupp and Koopa might play today.
Puka's not playing.
Oh, Puka got ruled out 100% already?
He's on my fantasy team. He's not playing.
Oh, okay. Kupp might play. I thought both of them might play, but never mind. So Puka's out. By the way, Kupp's part of trade rules.
I'm gonna check my fantasy, but I'm pretty sure he's not. I mean, I would start him, but I don't believe he's playing.
Yeah, he might not be playing then because you probably get updates. I have to search for them. You get them.
I would be so thrilled if he's gonna play. Is he still questionable?
Yeah, I told you. See. There you go, man.
When are we going to exactly find out?
They won't find out probably till about an hour and a half before game time. That's why sometimes when I make my picks, I wait longer just to make sure I know the full injury report and I know what's happening before I do it.
I was under the impression Nacua wasn't playing.
Yeah, Kupp and Nacua might play, but yeah, I think.
That completely changes though.
It would change it. Yeah, it would definitely change it. But I do think that the Vikings are complete better team in terms of like everything else. Did you know Aaron Jones is a little banged up? He was doubtful. He was questionable, doubtful to questionable.
I do have to bring this up, and I do have to call you out on it.
All right, what's up?
You had told me the other day I had asked you for your top 5 teams or something like that. You had put Minnesota at 2, and I looked at you and I asked you. I was like, you have them over Baltimore and you have them over the Lions, and you said yes. So the Lions go into Minnesota, they beat them. The Ravens go into Tampa and stomp them. I'm assuming that's changed.
Oh, of course that's changed. My ranking changed. Remember, you remember what I told you, right?
Being a football guy, I don't know I get they're 5-0, but just because they're 5-0 doesn't mean you put them at number 2 in the nation like you did. I'm trying to understand your theory behind why you put them number 2 in the nation, please.
Okay, so why I put them number 2 was simply because I do think their defense is good enough. I do think they have weapons on offense, like I said, and they were beating teams that are they weren't beating schmuck teams. I wouldn't say they were beating the Patriots every week, you know.
Well, the Lions ate up that defense.
Yeah, they did.
That's
But you also remember what I told you. I said until somebody can beat them, then I'll knock them out. Sometimes there's also teams that I don't knock back even if they lose, just so you know. So it all depends on the situation, the week, and as the season progresses. Does that make sense what I'm saying? That's how I base my power rankings. It's not like what I think should be better. It's who's injured right now, what's happening right now. I actually do think Minnesota's still a good team, but I do think they're going to start to falter a little bit personally. I can actually give you my pick on the game right now. I mean, people aren't going to hear this till tomorrow, but I'll give you a breakdown on what I have for the game.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I actually like the Rams at the +3. I got the Rams at the +3. It's 2.5 now.
Is that with Kua playing or not playing?
It's Kua not playing. Cup might play. That was before I knew Kua would play, and there's a reason for it.
Nakua was playing or not, you were going to play them, right?
Yes. There's a reason for it. I just think that the way that Minnesota plays defense with their blitz scheme, I think that Sean McVay will use the play action and the run for him. And I think that after a big letdown loss like the Minnesota Vikings had to come back 3 days later after a big game like that, a loss last second, I don't think Darnold can turn it around and just come back like no big deal. This Rams team has veterans on there, obviously. And they have some young guys like Kyron Williams that can really control the ground game if Sean McVay calls a good game. I just think the game will be close.
Yeah, sure.
So I like the +3 and the Rams at home. And this is a perfect buy spot on the Rams. Everybody thinks they're sucking. And this is a time where you normally buy. This is where you buy the spot, right? And I like it. I like it a lot.
No, you have the Vikings losing 2 straight.
Well, yeah, at this point, yeah. And I'd love to see how they're going to recover after this. That's my main question. If they do lose today, I want to see how they're going to recover, or they can win. I don't know.
But do you think the Rams can stop? Or do you think the Rams defense is good enough to stop this high potent offensive weapons?
I think that the Rams can slow them down. I don't think they're going to stop them completely, but I do think that the Rams could slow them down, and I do think that they've had looks at Darnold in the past because also he's they've had tape on Darnold in the past. He was a backup for the Niners. I think he even played a game against the Rams. I believe it was last year because it was like a nobody cares game. But I mean, they've seen him. They've if anybody can figure out how to slow down or how to manipulate a game, I think Sean McVay is one of those coaches that can slow down a game in terms of the run game. And that's what they need to do here. So I just feel like the matchup is to their favor. And for all the injuries and everything that people have been saying about the Rams, I mean, this is already they've been playing like this. You know, at this point, you got to stop saying they're injured. This is just their team. Like, they're going to continue to get better little by little, you know? And if they get anybody back, that's a huge plus at this point. You know what I mean?
Are they really fighting for anything this year?
I mean, I think they're fighting. McVay came back. He almost didn't coach. So at this point, McVay is at least fighting for the fact that, hey, I fucking came back. Let's fucking give this a run. I don't want to come back for nothing. You know, he almost retired. There's rumors of him retiring, but he ended up coming back.
I think he busted LeBron and wanted attention. I don't think a young coach was going to retire after winning a Super Bowl. I think he was busting him.
Maybe.
And yeah. LeBron was like, oh, yeah, you know, after the Nuggets won the championship, he tried to take the shine from them and said, oh, I might retire. Like, it just shows you somebody's character to even do that. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. You know, if Nakua plays, man, that'll be a big step. That'd be awesome for me. I'm sure for you, too.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to play. I like the Rams at the +3. I think it's a good spot. My only concern is the Vikings blitz against the Rams offensive line, but I think McVay can neutralize it, and that's why I'm laying it. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah, for sure. At least people know if they don't, they can at least hear our opinion on that game, right?
Yeah, of course. I could give you my power rankings real quick before we get into the other ones.
I mean, your power rankings, all that really matters is your top 3 is the same as me now, so that's all that really matters.
That's all you wanted to know? It might be, yeah.
Yeah, you put the Ravens and Lions up there with the Chiefs.
It's pretty much Chiefs, Lions, Ravens at this point, yeah.
Yeah, those are just facts.
And
I
then-
just couldn't believe that.
Behind them is the Packers.
Yeah, maybe you had the Vikings up there.
I mean, let's see what happens, man. So this is a big test for the Vikings for me to even stay closer to the top 10. This is how I see it, right? I think this is a big step for me to see how they're going to perform. And if they do lose today, how they bounce back. This can change a lot of things for them moving forward.
You know what I'm not understanding is you had them as the number 2 team in the nation, and now you're betting against them.
Yeah, because NFL's week to week. NFL's week to week, situation to situation. And that's why people lose, because they assume this team's so good. And they're like, oh.
Vikings are good at all.
No, I'm not saying this team. I'm not saying the Vikings. I'm talking about in general. They assume a team is good, and they're like, oh, okay, no matter what. So they're always going to bet on Patrick Mahomes. They're always going to bet on the better quarterbacks. And that's why at the end of the day, bookmakers always cash in, because they're going to put those lines higher. And I just try to find value spots on matchups. You know, so I don't look at everything based off of like what I think about the team in that instant. Do I take it into account? Yes, but I also take into account matchups, and I also take into account who they played before, how many days off they had, what are their injuries. There's so many things you need to take account in, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't mean to bore you with it, but it's a lot of things that I put into play before saying, all right, I'm going to take this game. So, but yeah, I would go there. We'll see if Nakua plays. I don't know. Let's see if he plays. Anything else on that game?
I'm sorry?
Anything else on that game? Hopefully they went out right. That'll be nice.
That'd be great in the cool place too.
Yeah, for your fantasy for sure.
I keep checking like it's gonna change right now.
You never know. Nah, it might be maybe a couple more hours still.
Are they gonna let us know like 5 minutes before game time?
He might go out there on the field about an hour and a half, do some warm ups, and that's when he'll get a better idea. That's why I told you. That's why I wait sometimes. But
yeah, for sure. Let's carry on. Sorry.
No, you're good. Did you want to bring something else up about that game? I don't mind.
Oh no, something about fantasy. We can talk about it all day.
Oh no, good. Okay. What was the next? Oh, the next game was the Lions and the Titans. -12 Lions. There's no value in that line to me. You can get backdoored in that line. You don't know if the Titans are going to show up. If anything, the Lions are playing out of this world right now. They're averaging 30-plus points a game. It's fucking insane. Ben Johnson is definitely in his bag like I thought. And that team, maybe the Williamson thing is gonna
You know what's funny?
give him a distraction.
Is,
But
everybody wants to give Lane Johnson credit, and by all
Ben Johnson.
by all means, he deserves the credit. But those plays, those trick plays he was running in Dallas, I hope people don't think he created those calls. You know what I'm trying to say?
Are you talking about the ones in give me a little more insight on that. I'd like to know.
Well, the one where St. Brown patches it, and then they're coming off shotgun. St. Brown patches it. Gibbs runs up the middle like he's gonna go up and set like a screen or go for a catch. He goes up the middle, then goes to the right side. By the time Brown has it, he just tosses it back. That play was ran by the Patriots a long time ago. So I want people to understand that Lane Johnson didn't
Ben Johnson.
create these plays. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. He's building off of old stuff.
One of the other plays he ran, Dan Marino did that play call. So like these plays are like, people have ran them. They're not something Lane Johnson just came up one day on his bed and was like, you know what, this is a perfect. This is what I created. No, these plays have been played before. They've
been in games before, so he's seen it and he didn't really. What you're saying is he didn't innovate it.
He didn't innovate it. Not even close.
Okay, got you. All right.
So if people are under that assumption, I guarantee you are wrong.
But there is one thing you have to give people like that credit for. They're reusing anything that they can find with the weapons on the field that they have.
I'm not saying he's a bad offensive coordinator.
No, I don't think he.
But somebody doesn't deserve credit for something that they didn't make. That's all I'm saying.
Got it. Okay. So, what do you think about the line at -12 with the Bill Belichick and Dan Marino's offensive play schemes against the Tennessee Titans?
Right, and the Patriots.
And the Patriots, yeah.
I think there's no real value in that game,
No, I mean, if you have to go for it, I guess I'm going Lions. The Lions are you're at peak Lion right now. Right now is peak Lions. They beat the Vikings in Minnesota. They whooped on Dallas. Right now is peak Lions. Like, you're getting no value in the Lions. and it's even ugly to play Tennessee. Put it that way.
For sure.
Next game. So let's skip next game. Let's go to another kind of ugly game in my opinion, man. Baltimore Ravens at Cleveland Browns. Baltimore laying 7.5 division game. That's ugly too. But you got Jameis Winston starting. They just announced it. He probably should have started a long fucking time ago. But did you know they put in Dorian Thompson-Robinson as a second stringer last week when Deshaun got hurt?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I think it was all for show. I think Stefanski, in my opinion, that was a bad move, and I think he's just trying to show the media that.
I mean, you know what the F part about this? It's effed up that I'm going to say this, but it's the truth. Watson going out and getting injured was probably the happiest days for Stefanski. It was probably the happiest day of his life.
There's no more controversy.
Yeah, he didn't have authority on starting who he wanted. The owner paid him. The owner said, "This is who you need to start. You don't have a choice."
Yep.
Now you do have a choice because he's injured and he can't play. And I do think the Browns will look a little bit better, not a ton better, but they're not going to be as trash as they were before.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it's a division game, man. You never know. It's the NFL and a division game. We'll see what happens against the Ravens.
I'm not saying they're going to be Baltimore. I'm just saying they're not going to be a team you can just go whoop on.
Yeah. They're going to give you a fight.
They're going to give you a better fight.
Yeah. So I just don't like the line. If anything, to me, it's hard for me to find value on the Browns at all right now. They need to show me something. And Baltimore looks like they're playing on all cylinders. So I think that's a skip spot for me. I think the line is about right at 7.5.
Baltimore's a scary effing team.
Yeah, they are. Until you get to the playoffs and you get playoff Lamar.
Yeah, we'll see. But he's playing. This is the first time I've ever said this in my life. He's playing very well.
Really? That's the first time?
The yeah, man. I've seen his game. I've seen a lot of his games. I saw him against the Chiefs. That was the first game. Second half, he played well. I saw him stomp on Tampa Bay. I saw him stomp on Dallas. Like, he's a pocket passer right now. This is the first time I can honestly say when I watch him in the pocket, he's looking to throw at all times, and his accuracy has increased dramatically. Like, this is not the same quarterback I saw 2 years ago. Sure, he won the MVP 2 years ago, but a lot of it was his legs. Right now, he still has his legs, but I feel like he's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid of the blitz. I've seen this guy get blitzed on Tampa almost every other play, and he sits there, and he takes it, and he makes great throws. And you know how much I've been anti-against him, and I've only been anti-against him because he's never been, in my eyes, a pocket passer. If you're not a pocket passer, you will never succeed. I don't care how great your legs are. You just no team has ever succeeded with a non-pocket passer. Therefore, watching him play now, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, you sit and you take it and you get blitzed and you throw with accuracy. It's just, I marvel at, I mean, CJ, you know how I feel. Like, for me to say, like, right now, I marvel at his game. I really do.
Yeah. You know what, man? So I still got to wait, and there's a reason, because I actually saw him being a better pocket passer last year. I saw it last year.
I didn't notice that last year as much as this year.
I noticed it last year, and I said, show me in the playoffs, and he fucking did. He showed me that he couldn't beat the Chiefs. So I'm not saying he can't do it this year. I know.
Beat the Chiefs then.
No, I know, but I'm saying I don't know if he could do it this year. But to me, he has thrown better in the pocket. However, I need to see it when it matters. So because I also think Tampa Bay's defense is fucking not that great, man. I thought they're going to show up better.
Who's the best active quarterback that's playing right now to you? Who's the best quarterback right now?
Patrick Mahomes.
There's no way I'm talking about, look, Patrick Mahomes in the clutch is amazing. The close of the game is amazing. But who's playing better from A to Z? Come on.
Oh, you're talking about stats-wise, numbers-wise, and all that. That's what you're saying. Stats-wise, it would have to be.
He didn't play well against the Niners.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you're talking about stats-wise, you're talking about right now stats-wise, because nobody's gonna change my mind about Mahomes.
Even what the eyes see, forget the stats. Look at it. Look at the eyes. Like, right now, him and Jared Goff are probably the top 2 quarterbacks.
I think Jared Goff can win MVP this year.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And don't forget, Josh Allen has been playing well too, man. With what he has.
Yeah, but you know what's unfortunate is because he has to play Superman, and he's not going to finish, I think, top enough to get the MVP. I'd love to see him get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's hard with him because he doesn't have weapons all over the place.
But going at what you just said about Mahomes in terms of the numbers and everything, yes, I agree with that. I get it. It's not his best statistical year, and I can't stand the dude sometimes. He's beaten my team twice in the Super Bowl. So,
Yeah,
but I mean, I got to give credit where it's due, man. He wins. He fucking wins. Call it
I'm not
call it
taking
how you
anything
want
away
it.
from the guy. The guy fucking wins, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
let's make sure we clarify that the guy wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, we'll see, man. I'd love to see. Look, man, I'd love to see Lamar in when it gets crunch time. I'd love to see the same thing we're seeing now. We'll see. I actually took Baltimore last year, and they didn't beat the Chiefs. So obviously, I'm gonna sit here and be like, "Fuck!" Now you really need to show me because you know what I mean.
Sure. I don't disagree with you. Sure.
But we'll see, man. You can't
Listen,
disrespect that team though.
No, of course. And mind you, the only reason why I'm praising him is because I haven't praised him his whole career. And this is the
You
first time
really haven't. You even
I really
surprised me
haven't.
right now. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right.
So I figured, he deserves his flowers. So
He does, and we're not talking about Zay Flowers either.
no,
Me with the dad jokes, bring them on.
definitely not.
Okay, so we're gonna go next game, Green Bay Packers at Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Fuck, man, the Packers look good defensively. Jordan Love did have a couple of turnovers. The line is -4 in Jacksonville. I think that's a good line for the game. I think there's actually, you're going to hate me saying this, there might be a little value on Jacksonville, but at the same time, they were just in London for 2 weeks, so I have to fly back and get readjusted to this time over here. So the smidget of a value in Jacksonville. I just don't know how they're going to adjust to coming back from London after 2 weeks there. We'll see. But the Packers defense is they held CJ Stroud to 87 yards, and I didn't cover that game. Are you fucking kidding me? 87 yards, 197 total yards for the Texans. The only guy that got it going was Mixon, and that's only because they just started running the ball until the Packers figured, they're going to try to run the ball, and they readjusted their defense, and they did nothing after that.
Right.
Obviously, I had the Packers -3. They won by 2 last week. I fucking loved that game last week. As did a lot of other people that I know. But 3 turnovers did them in for the spread, but they still won the game. What do you think, man? I know Jordan Love, some bad turnovers on his end, in my opinion, but
I still think he has a lot more to improve.
I mean, he had a sick pass. Did you see the pass to the tight end for the touchdown, though, in the catch?
Sure, but he still has a lot to learn. He has to be better under pressure. I think right now you stick him in the playoffs, I don't think they have a shot.
God, right now, I do see him a little shaky.
Yeah, they don't have a shot right now. They can't go up against really good, hard-nosed teams that don't make mistakes. He could eventually get there, but I don't think he's there yet.
100%. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Well, what do you think about the line -4?
Aaron Rodgers played well too, but even early on in his career, he didn't throw interceptions like Jordan Love is throwing right now. Jordan Love is the closest to Brett Favre I've seen in the way he plays, the way he likes to take risks, the way he can dodge that ball down the field.
Yep.
But do I think they're ready to win the Super Bowl? No, not yet.
Yeah,
Unless Jordan Love fixes that problem, and he needs to also stop throwing off his back foot.
He should probably start fixing it fast because his defense is pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. He's got a really good rated defense, something Aaron never really had.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So you got to take advantage of that when you have it.
For sure.
To me, smidget of a value in Jacksonville. Anything on the game, or you're just kind of line is about right now?
Yeah, so.
Next game. Ooh, man, that's a low line, man. Houston Texans -4.5 at home against Indianapolis Colts. That's What do you think that line should be? 4.5 is low, man.
You think so?
I mean, it's a division game.
I see the line Texans-Colts game.
Yeah. 4.5 Texans.
Yeah. Mine shows me 5. You have 4. It's a big difference.
4.5.
Oh, okay, so it's around the same. I think the line is right. I mean, how much do you want the line to beat?
No, you're right. I think the line is more than a field goal. It's more than 3.5. It passes a 4. I think it's okay. I think, put it this way, I don't think in terms of the public, even if they move that number to 6, the public is probably still going to take the Texans. Let me just tell you that.
I agree.
Yeah. So the fact that it's 4.5 makes me think, where's the value? What am I missing here? Other than division game, and I know that the Colts and Texans typically play grinder of games. And if you're going to be in a grinder game, taking the 4.5 at the plus, you never know. But Richardson's back, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, maybe they see something in that. We'll see, huh? But the Texans also have some injuries on the back end of their secondary, so I don't know if they're going to be healthy. That'll remain to be seen. But I think it's tough to say that the Colts have value here, and it's tough to say the Texans have value. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I think the line's changed. I mean, I think the line's right. I think it's because it's a divisional game. That's why it's at 5. But I still think for a division game at home to get the line 5, that's respect. I think
it is respect. Anything over 3 in a division game is respect.
Respect, yeah.
Anything over 3, anything. Let's do next game: Dolphins and Cardinals. Dolphins laying 4 at home in Miami. Is Tua coming back? Supposedly, right?
He was asked if he was going to wear that extra helmet support that some athletes wear.
Oh, the Guardian helmet or something?
Whatever it's called. Yeah, he said, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh, man, he's got to wear that thing, man.
For him to say that lets me know he's probably coming back. He's going to be confident. He's going to do what he can do.
For him to also say that to me...
That team's toast anyway. He's not going to come back and have them win better games. They might be in a lot more games, but they're not going to win much more with him. He's not that good.
No, I agree. I actually think there's value on the Cardinals at the +4, man. As long as you get a decent Kyler Murray showing.
Yeah.
This game could be close.
He's also got Connor, dude. Connor's a great player.
Oh, Connor, yeah, he's balling, man. He's balling for sure. I mean, they beat the Chargers Monday night. Weird-ass Monday night with 2 games again. But they beat the Chargers Monday night in that grinder game. So
Sad to say, but the Chargers look like the same Chargers as 2 years ago, last year ago. And the question's got to be to me now, and I hate to say this, is Herbert just an okay quarterback?
I laughed because I knew you were going to say that, and I thought the same shit.
I think he's an okay quarterback.
Yeah, I'm starting to think I'm going to give him this whole year, but I'm starting to...
He's like another Dak.
Yeah. He maybe even less explosive with some of the play. He has a better arm, but he has less agility, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I guess comparability on both ends, but holy fucking shit.
Let's be honest here. Him coming in has made a difference. They're in every game. It's close. They play great defense. They hit hard.
I was just gonna say that. So
you gotta ask yourself: is the question mark the quarterback?
Well, let me ask you this: is it the quarterback because he's also throwing less?
He is because of what's his name? Rome's.
Greg Roman. Oh God, I hate his offense, man.
Really?
Yeah, I never thought it was great.
Dude, I understand why Harbaugh got Roman because that's how he wants his team to do.
Defense run first.
Hit hard.
Defense first, then run. Yeah. But anyway, I know we got away from the Dolphins and Cardinals game because we were talking about that. But I think there's value on the Cardinals, man. I think the Cardinals are a little better than people think. They lost by 10 to the Lions at home, and the Lions are fucking rolling. So you got to look back at anybody who played the Lions close at this point and say, okay, let's see how they're doing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's Anything on this game in terms of line? Anything you would take? No, you would just leave it on. I like the +4 a little bit, but I'm going to dig into it. We'll see. Next game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Atlanta Falcons. Round 2 of that thriller Thursday night game where I had Atlanta and they ended up winning. Atlanta -3 in good old Tampa Bay. What do you think about that, man? I can bring up some injuries they have.
They have a lot.
They have a shit ton.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I think it's great you brought up this question because I had a question to ask you.
Go ahead.
There's like 2 minutes left. You're down by 10, right? You have no timeouts. You're down by 10. You're at the 20-yard line. You're down 10 points with 2 minutes to go. You have no timeouts. The 2-minute warning is gone. You have no timeouts. Why are you putting your guys in jeopardy of harm? Why? Dotson had no business being in that game.
The only thing I can think is that Todd Bowles had Tampa Bay +4.
No, come on,
I'm kidding, man. Obviously,
I know. But to me, that's just unacceptable, man. Your best player gets hurt. You would think okay, one of my receivers is already out. One of the best receivers of all time. I don't care what anybody says. He's a great receiver. He just doesn't talk. He's on a big market, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he's still a fantastic receiver. You lose him in the second quarter. maybe as a coach, you think to yourself, well, fuck, Godson's the only guy I got left right
He's
now.
really the only. He's really the only guy they had left.
We're down 10 points with 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. Okay, I got one hurt. Let's make sure this doesn't get hurt, and he gets hurt. And to me, it's just like
That was stupid.
I think it's terrible coaching, and I feel, and I hate to say this, man, but when you play like that, you're gonna deserve what's gonna happen, and I think that's what.
I do also want to say Mayfield is not the type of guy that lets down, and I'm pretty sure he had a hand in telling the coach, like, dude, just like fucking rip it. But as a coach, you got to say, like, dude, chill the fuck out. You know, you got to control your team. So,
I'll be honest with you. I don't think Mayfield played a bad game. That interception he threw in the end zone, that guy was like out of bounds. Dude.
Yeah.
Nobody could see him. He was out of bounds, and he comes back in and picks him off.
He didn't play a bad game. Honestly, everything changed once Evans dropped the TD, got hurt. Then the pick happens, and everything turned so fast after that. It was just so fast because it's like he lost one of his favorite targets. The Ravens just started rolling. Everything fucking just went sideways after that, man. I don't think he played a bad game either, though. But if you're asking me, I think -3 on the road. I think I can't see Tampa Bay winning this game. I really, really can't. It could happen just because it's the NFL, but I just feel like with the injuries and the plethora of guys that they have out, and I believe Mayfield needs those guys in order to play at the level that he's playing. That's truly how I believe. Because those guys are huge fucking weapons to that team. You know, it's kind of like when you take away Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle for the Niners. Like Purdy's gonna like fucking sub-mediocre, I feel. You know what I mean? Like, they need weapons. There's only 2 quarterbacks in this league, I feel, that don't need weapons like that, and that's Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. And possibly, I can't say it though. That's why I said possibly Joe Burrow, but he has Chase and Higgins. Until I see him without Chase and Higgins, then we'll talk.
For sure, he's had weapons his whole life.
Yeah, so I can't really judge it off that, you know.
Since he was at LSU, the guy's had weapons.
Yeah, so, but yeah, man, I just think that I can't see the Bucs winning the game, but who knows? Who fucking knows? And let's see, Atlanta's coming off. That was a lot. They lost last week, obviously, to Seattle, but the stats were misleading in that game. I mean, they did lose by more than a touchdown, but I don't think they got outplayed as bad on the stat board as it showed. I forgot. I didn't get a chance to write down those stats, but did you know, by the way, that road favorites, I think 3 or less, are 15-2 against the spread this year? I think it's 3 or less or 7 or something like that. I got to double check. It's 15-2. Fucking crazy. Road
sometimes
favorites.
it's just the way the games are, you know.
Yeah, sometimes that's the way the games are going to happen. But eventually the tide turns, man. And that's why I've tried to find value. I think the best time to find value is going to be coming up soon. So
it could, for sure. It could.
So let's go to the next game, man. Jets -7 at New England. I don't even know what the fuck to say about that game. I mean, they're giving them 7. The Jets I was at the Dodger game, but you were watching that Jets game. They were up by 9. What the fuck happened?
Oh, this big interception got thrown. That interception wasn't Aaron Rodgers' fault. I think Wilson needs to make that play. They intercept the ball at their 30-yard line, at the Jets 30, and they scored. I mean, the game completely. You know how it is. You know how football is. Momentum. Big interception. It was 100% that interception. I also think the reason why the the reason why I think the Jets are not doing well, believe it or not, I can almost guarantee you this right here, right now. You put LaFleur as the offensive coordinator on that team, that offense will gel. I just don't think they're calling the right play calls. I don't think they have a good offensive coordinator, and I think that's huge.
I think that LaFleur is definitely the man that was calling the plays in Green Bay, even though they wanted to say that Hackett was the offensive coordinator. Let's keep that real. So -7, no value. I'm going to skip it. If you have anything to say about it, go for it. I don't know. I feel like I need to see a little more of the patch with this Drake May and all this stuff going on. So, and this next game is interesting, though. The Bengals at home against the Eagles. Bengals laying 2.5. 2.5. What do you think about this? You think the Eagles are back? Do you think the Bengals are back? Maybe that's why it's -2.5, right?
I think it's a good way to show us who's for real and who's not.
It's a good way to say who's going to fucking make a run this year and who's just going to sit back this year.
Yes. If the Bengals make the playoffs this year, like, wow.
Yeah. After they started.
That division, like, wow.
I know, man. Because Pittsburgh's not a joke this year in that division either.
Is Pittsburgh ever a joke?
They're never a joke. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
might be 500, but that's not a joke. If you're 500 in the NFL, to me, I'm sorry. You're not a
No,
joke.
they can run the Wildcat and never be a joke, those
Oh,
guys.
of course. Exactly. You get what I'm saying?
I think this line is -2.5. Look, man, I feel like there's a fucking slight edge on the Bengals. Ever since they got Sheldon Rankins back, which is their D tackle, it's completely changed the way the people have been running the ball in them. Take note of that if you kind of go back and look when they got him back, because their defense went from like shitty, kind of shitty, less shitty, a little better, decent. Okay, they're getting better, and I do feel like Lou Anarumo's got those guys playing at the level that his pedigree should be at least for what he's been talked about. But what's up?
Seems like that.
Seems like that, but this is the test week. This is like, did you guys just play shitty teams, or are you guys fucking, let's see what's going to happen, right? And then you got Sirianni, same thing. Did you guys just play a division opponent that you guys seem to own and Barkley just really wanted to kick their ass, or did you get your shit together? It was a good game. It is definitely a fucking interesting game.
For sure.
So, all right, let's go.
Key matchup.
Yeah, for sure. Next game is going to be Bills and Seahawks. Bills lane 3 in Seattle. That's tough. Bills lane 3 in Seattle, huh?
But I'm telling you right now, if Buffalo gets that win, watch out for Buffalo.
I think they could get the win.
I'm sure. I'm not saying, yeah, of course. I'm just saying if they do get this win, you go into Seattle, you beat Seattle. And you added a new piece in wide receiver. That's a good way to establish some type of confidence, some type of self-esteem, and that's a huge win if they go in there and win for sure. I think it's a good test to see how good they really are, and it lets them know how good they really are. This is a crucial game for Buffalo, I think, more than people realize.
I agree, and I think they know that, and because even if Seattle in their shittiest years, it's tough to win over there.
They're a good team this year. They're a decent team.
Yeah, they're a decent team. No, I agree. Hey, Gino fucking is playing good, man.
For sure.
Gino for sure is playing well. So we'll see what happens, though. I think Buffalo -3. I think the books are taking a stand, and they're trying to tell you something right there. The books think that the Bills are a better team than perceived and a better team regardless. And I don't disrespect Seattle, so I don't know. This line, the books are taking a stand. Let's see if that stand counts, because it doesn't mean that they're right. It doesn't mean the odds makers are always right. So let's see. Next game. It's kind of a shitty game, man. The Chargers and the Saints. The reason I say shitty is because I think, what's his name? Spencer Rattler is just fucking.
Let's just pass on that.
Yeah, I think in this game, the line is -7 on the Chargers, and I'll be honest with you. The way that Harbaugh plays defense, Rattler has got it coming for him. Let me just tell you that at home. So
Awesome.
let's pass on that one, man. -7. If anything, I see value on the Chargers because of that, straight up.
Sure.
Oh man, this will be a good one right here. Bears Commanders. Bears lane 2.5. Woo.
I believe Daniels isn't playing.
He's not. They got Mariota. It's Mariota, right? What do you think? Do you think
It's gonna be a tough game to call.
it's a super tough game? And I think the line. I think the line should have been a pick. But I also think that they're just making the Bears -2.5 because they know that they're going to have a lot of love on the Bears right now, simply because of the fact that Daniels isn't playing and the Bears seem to be fucking rolling, man. Yeah. Maybe Caleb just needed a couple games under his belt to get a little more comfortable, right? And obviously he got Keenan Allen back.
You know what, dude? I expect it to be decent because Vegas put their win to what 8, 9?
9.
Yeah, so that told me Vegas knows something more than we know.
Oh, for sure. That always tells you a little something. Yeah.
That was
it's remain to be seen, right? Because they could be wrong too. But right now,
of course they could be wrong.
It's showing that the Bears are gelling better, right?
It's still going to be tough for them to finish 9 games, only because I think they're in one of the toughest divisions.
I was just going to say that. You got Green Bay twice, you got Detroit twice, and you got the Vikings twice.
I don't even think they've played any of them, have they?
Nope.
I don't think the Bears have played any division games yet.
Nope. Good luck.
Wow, the second half of their games is going to be every game is going to be important to them.
Yeah, they're going to be grinding it out at the end.
Have to, because they haven't played in bag. They got to play those teams 6 times total. Those 3 teams.
Yep. So we'll see, man. But we shall see.
What game are we at? Because I have a question to ask in one of the games. Where are we at?
Chiefs
right now?
Raiders is the next
Cowboys,
game.
Niners?
No, we got Chiefs Raiders.
Okay.
We got the Chiefs laying 9 at the Raiders. Division game right there again. This is a Kermit the Frog game, man. You wanna know? Do you know why I say that?
It sounds like it.
No, obviously, yeah. They talk about Mahomes sounding like it, but not sure if you knew, but in the off season or during the summer when they were just kind of practicing, the Raiders brought out a Kermit the Frog and acted like it was Patrick Mahomes, joking around about it. And it got around on social media, and they asked Patrick Mahomes about it, and he said that issue will take care of itself when we see each other this year.
That's
So
funny.
you best believe that he has a little extra motivation on this game, man.
Like, if Max Crosby's playing, he loves to sack him.
Oh, he does. He does. Yeah, I heard some stuff about Crosby, man. I think.
It's a lot of shit.
What's up?
It's a lot of shit, from my understanding.
Not just talks a lot of shit. I think there might be a little disgruntledness with him in the organization, dude.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is, but that's what I've heard. What do you think about that? That line's just fucking so high, -9, and being the Kermit the Frog game, I don't know if I want to fuck with it.
I don't know if I can find value.
I can't even find value in the plus. I try to find value in the plus, and I just don't know if I can find it right now because the Chiefs' defense is going to play fucking great, and you're going to have Gardner Minshew, who this fucking guy will throw like 3 interceptions and keep you in a game somehow. Some games, don't ask me how, why. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck.
The Raiders' defense isn't that bad.
It's not that bad. It's not. They're going to need Crosby though, for damn sure.
For sure.
Well, what do you think about the Chiefs getting Hopkins? I think anybody that Andy Reid gets, I don't give a fuck who they are. If they've been there, they're experiencing the NFL, I think it's going to up their offense. Put it that way.
Yes and no. I know where you're coming from, but that's usually with age. He's a little older. I mean, they're not going to use him for speed because he's not as fast. His route running isn't as good anymore. I don't think he's the type of guy who needs to be double teamed. You could probably double team because they don't have good receivers anyway. But we'll see.
I mean, look what we did with Juju.
What?
Juju came in and he's fucking playing a role somehow.
Juju's hurt right now, though.
Yeah. I guess all I'm saying is like he finds spots for these guys, and if you've been in the league,
Juju will have like one good game out of like 10, like a year, like.
And it's gonna be that one that fucking matters though all the time.
Yeah, we'll see. Like if they need some short yard gain, I'm sure they can go to Hopkins. You know, he can catch
Possession type.
If you're trying to go deep with him, he's not the same person to go deep with. But that's just my opinion.
I get you on that. He's not the same person. I agree, but we'll see. I'm gonna skip that game -9. Fuck it, uglier game. Panthers. Broncos laying 10. Bryce Young is actually getting the start because Andy Dalton had a motorcycle accident. And the Broncos seem to fucking really be playing well on defense, man. And their offense is playing decent, too. What do you think? Still don't believe in Bo Nix. I need to see more.
Well, I'll tell you what's really important is that Payne seems to believe in him, and that's important.
Yeah. I mean, you brought something up last week. You said they're going to put in Russell Wilson. I remember what you said. They're bringing in Russell Wilson. But Fields has not been doing bad, and they're winning games. Tomlin has to know something we don't fucking know, and I trust Tomlin over my opinion because he's there every day.
That's why I wanted to get to the Monday night game.
Yeah. I remember shit you say, man. Trust me. Because I was looking at the Jets, and I remember you saying that, and I was like, nah, like, T is right. Like, there's something that Tomlin sees in fucking Wilson, even if he starts. There's too many question marks this game. To be comfortable, just like
let's be honest. The reason why I wanted to discuss this to all the listeners, all the viewers, everybody that watches football, I would say 70% of people thought he was insane for taking out a quarterback when you're 4-2 and you're winning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people thought, well, no, you got to stick with Fields. Once Fields loses one game, okay, you can pull him. Didn't even do that. 4-2 came off a win and benched him. But that just tells you, or at least tells me, I don't know what it tells you or the rest of the people, but this is what it tells me. Mike Tomlin, as a coach, he's just on another level to me.
He's earned my respect for sure.
He's
over time.
Respect a long time ago. Come on, now if you're a football guy.
No, I think he earned it a couple years back, but at some point I thought like, okay, he's getting by with like good defense and Ben, and like after Ben, I wanted to really see what he did, and fuck, he's earned my respect, you know.
You know, and to make that's a gamble he took. If that team lost and Wilson played well, How do you go back to Fields and say, oh, well, you know what? We need you to come back. It's going to mess with the self. That can completely make a locker room disgruntled. You get what I'm trying to say?
100%,
Because people now have to pick sides. But the fact that he came in, put on a show, he played well. Second half played well, do some good dimes. It just tells you the degree of Mike Tomlin and his mind and the way he coaches and
his
how
coaching
he's just
mastery.
on top of everything. And to me, it's just, you got to give him his flowers, man.
Yeah,
Facts.
you do. So going back to what we were originally talking about, which was Peyton believes in Knicks. What do you think about this? And you think the Broncos are going to be rolling this year, or do you think they're 1 year ahead? Do you think they're 1 year ahead of schedule, or do you think they're right on schedule?
I think they're right on schedule. I think they'll finish 500.
Yeah, and I think next year is a big year for them. But I think that with Bryce Young coming in this week, that line at -10, it's fucking inflated, man.
Bryce Young's playing, right?
Yeah, but then again, Carolina really sucks, man. They really suck. So, who knows? Well, that'll be yet to be seen. Oh, man, let's go to this next game, though. By the way, in terms of value there, it's like, I guess you can fucking see if you can find the +10 on the value. Maybe, just because Bryce Young wants to give it a shot. I don't know. Wow. I don't know if you could really do that in Denver. But let's check out Sunday night. Niners, Cowboys. Niners laying 4.5 at home. I don't know if Debo is playing, but the line was 4 and it moved back to 4.5, which makes me feel that Debo could possibly be active this game. I don't know how healthy he's going to be. I think 4.5. Look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I think 4.5 is a little too high for this game. How do you feel?
What?
Huh?
Why is it too high?
You agree?
I'm asking you, why is it too high to you?
Oh, okay. So I feel like it's a little too high because if you look at, obviously the Cowboys have looked like shit against the Lions. They had that bye week to try to fix all their shit, right? They didn't have Parsons. They didn't have Lawrence. I don't know if Parsons is going to play this game. Have you heard anything on that?
Questionable still.
Okay, so my thing is, they still went into Pittsburgh and beat Pittsburgh, man, a couple weeks back. They got beat down by the Ravens, but the Ravens we see are playing fucking elite. The Lions are playing elite. That's two of the...
They got beat down by the top two teams.
Exactly, right? That's what I'm trying to say. So, and then
But it was a beat down, brother. It was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing. But I think the spots that you look at teams, and I hate to fucking say this, is when all the chips are down. That's when the value can be there. And if you really look at who they got beat down by, and like I said, they did go into Pittsburgh and win, and they have shown signs of like, okay, you guys can still win games. If the Niners don't have, well, obviously they're not going to have Ayuk. If they don't have Debo, I don't know. I know that the Cowboys lack in stopping the run, and I know Shanahan's a genius at that, but I just feel like that's why the line is too high. I think the line should be 3.5, maybe.
Where's the game?
It's in San Fran. Yeah, and I'm just saying based off of the weapons that we've lost. If we don't have Debo, and obviously Ayuk is gone.
That's huge, brother.
It's a big.
Where the game was at.
It's a big deal, man. And I just feel like everybody's so down on the Cowboys. And check this out, if Debo fucking plays,
I think a lot of people are down on the Niners too.
That's what I was just gonna say. A lot of people are down on the Niners. This is exactly what I was gonna say. If Debo plays, it will hop people back on the Niner bus, right? But that alone will make them feel like, oh, Debo's playing. They just didn't have him. They'll give them an excuse to want to play the Niners or validate that 4.5. But realistically, I think the number's too high, man.
Sure, but what other people's opinion on why they're going to play is not bad. I mean, it doesn't matter to your opinion.
No, it doesn't. But it dictates the line, right? So if the line's going to go higher and they're going to give me more points, I fucking hate to say it, but I'm looking at Dallas this week. I just don't know. They can't stop the run. That's one thing, right? So you're taking your fucking defense who can't stop the run.
Why you think 4.5 is a lot against Dallas? I can see that because Dallas is still not a shit team.
Exactly. Yeah. For them to even win in Pittsburgh, that game was a big deal.
Plus, I also think Dallas needs to make a statement. They always struggle against the Niners. They always struggle against more aggressive teams. If they can go in there and win, I guarantee you people's perception of them will then be they can make the wild card. They can still fight for the division, which they could. It would be a big win for them.
Look, man, this is two desperate teams right here.
I honestly think this is it for Dallas. I think this is a do or die game. You
That's
do
a-
well, you build momentum, you beat a good team, you beat a team that's always owned you. Your locker room is different. It's more bubbly. It's more.
Yeah, this can be a resurrection game for their season.
Has to be.
Yeah. And we'll see if Parsons plays. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But it should be a fucking hell of a game.
Let's stop with this Michael Parsons stuff, man. The guy's good on 3rd and 10. That's it. Come on.
He said 3rd and 10. That's
Guy
it.
fucking nuts, man. If it's 3rd and 10, you're solid. 3rd and 8, you're solid. If it's 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, get the fuck out of here, man.
Parsons or Bosa?
Come on, that's just silly question. What kind of question is that? Come on.
All right. Anyway, I think that there's a
People
little.
need to stop talking about the other Bosa in San Diego, though.
He's done.
Done. He's been done.
Yeah. Every time they say he's out, I'm like, who cares? Every time they say, oh, Bosa's out, I'm like, who cares? He's been out.
Always out.
Yeah.
But if I hear somebody's telling me, oh, but Bosa's coming back, dude, it's just like
That doesn't matter. By the way, it's not San Diego. It's not San Diego. It's
dude, let's be
it's
honest,
LA.
the guy had what, 1 or good 2 years his whole life?
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's my take on it, man. You brought some good points up. It's do or die for Dallas. It's more do or die for Dallas than it is for the Niners.
The Niners also can't.
They can't. None of these teams can lose.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a lot. There's a lot more weight on this game for Dallas than for the Niners because
What the Niners have going for them, they're in probably the weaker division now. I think to me now that division got a little weaker.
oh yeah, it did. 100%. Because I mean, you got the Niners, you got the Rams, you got the Seahawks, and then you have the Cardinals. So we'll see. Monday night. What a
You got the
shit.
Commanders. So
Yeah. The Commanders, the Eagles, the who's the other team? Why am I tripping on that?
they're not that great.
The who?
Giants, but they're
Giants.
not that great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're getting to them right now. Giants and Pittsburgh Monday night. Pittsburgh laying 6. This can be a fucking debacle, but it also can be one of those Brian Dable games where I'm like, that's why this fucker's sneaky. So I don't know.
For sure.
This game, okay, Monday night is gonna really tell me how for real Pittsburgh is.
Against the Giants?
This is wait. I get why you're saying that. Yeah. This is why though. If they go in, if they completely cover that line, because historically Pittsburgh, when they're more than 3-point favorites, doesn't do well. Historically, if you go back since Big Ben. But this will tell me like, okay, Pittsburgh will be a bigger. They stepped over a hurdle this year. So if they cover that 6 and they cover it convincingly, to me that means something. It doesn't matter who it is, because they've even let down in the past with other teams. So it could be the Giants, it could be fucking.
Yeah, but they don't sit there thinking to themselves, oh, we haven't won a game since we've been favored by 6. I don't think any of the people in the locker room even know that.
They probably don't, but when you look at the numbers to numbers, and you're comparing them, that's what tells you, okay, if Pittsburgh wins by 20 or.
But let me ask you this: what if they cover the 6 the next game, the line's 6, and they don't cover? Do you go back to saying, well, Pittsburgh never covers at 6?
No, you don't go back, but you tally it. And then you check the numbers on it. But I just think, okay, look, if Pittsburgh wins by, if they do their job and blow out the Giants,
all Pittsburgh has to do is go in there and beat the Giants somewhat convincingly, and that's
what I'm trying to say. If they beat them convincingly, like 2 touchdowns plus, then I can say, okay, you know what? I think Pittsburgh's not going to be a joke at all this year. That's all I'm saying. If they barely win the game, then it's like, okay, well, we'll fucking see. Maybe the Giants. It's the NFL, man. Beating anybody by double digits is not easy. That just tells me they're a pretty good team, true or not.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's just how I see it. -6, I don't. It's a fucking dumpster fire in New York, so I don't know what you can do. Plus, everybody's gonna be watching the World Series game that day. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But that's the last of it. You got anything else on that one?
That's it.
You got any lock for me this week right now? You want to give the audience or not?
I can see the Vikings covering.
Yeah, that's gonna be too late though, because by the time they hear it, they're gonna.
Right. I could see. Dallas. I can see Dallas covering that, right?
Yeah, I think that's the value right there, but we'll see, man. Like I said, I think Debo's going to play just because of the way the line's been moving back and forth. They probably know he's going to be active for the game. So, but that's why you see the value, and then you got to dig into it. You don't just play it blind or assume it's fucking sharp. You know, that's a Woody thing to do.
Of course.
But yeah, man. Fucking can't wait for week 8, man.
Halfway towards the season already. Jeez, how time flies.
Yeah, almost halfway. It's not halfway yet. But yeah, if
Yeah, I mean, there's 17 games. I mean, we're 17 weeks. So
18
we're
weeks.
halfway there.
18.
Oh, that's right. They changed it. That's
Yeah,
right.
so we got one more game. That's why I said no. We got a little more. Hey, I'm gonna enjoy it while it's here. So
For sure. Makes two of us.
yeah, but we'll do it again next week, man. Anybody out there who doesn't know where to find me at on Instagram, it's at CJ Wins. Telegram at CJ Wins. You can message me at CJ Wins Sports on Telegram too. And obviously we do the podcast every single week, so you go to cjwins.com. If you want to check out a package, you have any questions, feel free to message me on IG or Telegram. But until next week, man, hopefully we profit this week, and we'll take it on weeks to come, right, T?
Cheers.
All right. Cheers, man. See you guys next week.
Take care, guys.